What's going on, guys? So y'all wouldn't shut the hell up for Allen Iverson, so here he is. A lot of this stuff, well, I was about to say a lot of this stuff I didn't change, but I did. 2K kind of had things on the right track, but they didn't exactly do it well. Now, one of the things I'll add, as I always do, I have a video explaining all the tendencies, if that's something you're into. And if you're going to use this build, I also recommend that you use my sliders, which is in my sliders video. And also have a badges video and an attributes video, and basically everything you need to really understand the offline character creation in 2K. Which for 2K21 it's kind of the same thing, so I imagine it'll still be the same thing on next gen. One of the things that surprised me, because when I make these builds I always watch film, just to make sure that I'm making the character correctly. He doesn't actually have the ball too much in terms of like pick and rolls and such. Like, he's actually not somebody who runs your offense. So I think I understand more now why he was a shooting guard. He actually came off screens a lot, and then had certain situations where he'd ISO. But it actually kind of surprised me how good of a catch and shoot guy he was. So if you're expecting him to just come down the floor, ISO and sauce somebody like he's James Harden, he's not really going to do that. That's not exactly what he's for. And 2K in general, you're not going to see ankle breakers every single play. So like I said, if that's what you're expecting, this is all just going to be 0. So don't even bother. Had to change some of these. For some reason, 2K really hates ISO versus poor defender. No top scorer in the NBA is gonna let a poor defender guard them. It's a little silly. Alright, so secondly, you want to go to your vitals, all the way down to your play types. You want them to be able to call plays, mid-range, handoff, isolation, 3-point. So for those who are confused, I'll just briefly explain these, even though I have other videos explaining them. These are just what plays will get ran for them. So if Iverson's coming off screens, he'll get it around the mid-range area. That doesn't mean he's going to shoot a mid-range every single time. That just means he's coming off a screen for a mid-range area catch. So he can decide whether he wants to drive off that, shoot off that, pass off that, whatever. All these are kind of putting him in situations where he has the most ability to make a play out of it. So we'll go into the signature. I will admit, I did not change anything here. I don't feel like anything needs to be changed. They got his signature pretty well. I didn't feel like anything really stood out to me as wrong. Iverson moves in a pretty, I guess, unique way. So it's kind of hard to not give him the right, I don't know if this man has leaning slams, but I'll leave it. It's kind of hard not to give him the right signatures. Of course, none of this stuff matters because he'll never do post moves. So we'll go to ball handling. Obviously, you're going to get Allen Iverson, Pro 2, because it's the fastest one in the game. Pro 5, because it's one of the best in the game. Pro 5 is also one of the best. And Pro 5, moving hezzy is also really good. And intense. So, I'll go through the badges and I'll explain a few things that you're definitely going to want in a build that's for Allen Iverson. So first off, you could copy these personality badges if you want. I don't really think, unless you're doing a league or something, these aren't going to matter too much. The main thing that I wanted to get across is Iverson's small in 2K. And small people in 2K, I mean, he's 6 foot, but small people in 2K are around 6 foot. So he's not gonna be just completely dominant. He has to have certain badges to really get the full use out of him. So one of the reasons that Iverson was really good is because he attacked the rim all the time. He took hard shots, made hard shots. He was just a good shooter in general, and he got a lot of steals. So if you're going to make an Iverson build and not just slap it on top of the Iverson that's already in the game, you're going to want him to have a high steal rating so that he can make use of pickpocket gold, pick dodger silver, interceptor gold, that sort of stuff. I would also kind of recommend giving him trapper, just because he's kind of a gritty defender, sort of like Patrick Beverly. I might even recommend giving him rebound chaser, at least bronze or silver, just because, like I said, a lot of his game was just hustle on defense, because he kind of had to because of how little he was. So I'll briefly go through the attributes, just to give you guys an idea of what type of attributes you're going to have to want for an Iverson type build. Because a lot of these, if you were trying to do a league or something and you're making an Iverson build for the league, you don't want him to come in at like 97 overall. You want him to develop. So you could just take these attributes and just lower them a little bit. It also kind of surprised me. I would almost recommend raising the rebound, if I'm honest, to maybe like somewhere in the 40s. But that's just me. I feel like driving dunk is pretty okay where it is. At least on my sliders. He did get, not contact dunks, but he dunked around people every now and then if the opportunity presented itself. Hands, you definitely want that. Iverson had a crazy long wingspan for how tall he was. I don't know the actual like length of it, but if you ever watch Iverson like film, when he dribbles, he's basically touching the ground. It's really weird. He's like a monkey. Yeah, but see, he has 96 steal, which he's going to reach a lot with this build. So if you just copy the sliders and you're like, oh yeah, he's going to play fucking fantastic. He's not. He's going to foul his ass off. And that's not going to be, you know, what you want. All the stuff I pretty much agree with. Yeah, for the most part. I'm pretty sure they just have everything 98 here, even though Iverson has been injured a good bit of times in his career. Mental stuff, high offensive consistency, yes, and miscellaneous. So like I said, if you're going to make this build, try to get the, you know, the Iverson basics. Make him fast, make him have a good ball handle, make him be able to finish at the rim, make him be able to steal. Slap on the tendencies, you should be good. As long as you give him some badges that work around that same play style, you should be fine. So if you like the video, like the video. Don't steal my fucking build and then dip. Let me know who you guys want next, and fuck off.